Hello everyone, thanks for showing up. I would like to start this session off with a trivia question. What important event happened in 1997? How about you, sir?
Well, sir, Chemical Weapons Convention of 1993 comes into force, outlaws production, stockpiling and use of chemical weapons among its signatories.
Very good. And how about you?
British lease on the new territories in Hong Kong, established by the Second Convention of Peking, expires?
Not bad. How about you on the left there?
The United Kingdom returns Hong Kong and the new territories to the People's Republic of China?
Excellent. And you in the middle there?
Well, let's see. Scientists announced the first human stem cells to be cultured in a laboratory using tissue taken from aborted human embryos.
Well, that was definitely an important event. How about you?
Well, all I can think of is that Diana, Princess of Wales, dies in a car crash in a road tunnel in Paris.
Yes, I remember that day as well. All of these events were important, for sure. But was there a single event that overshadowed all of these? Well, ladies and gentlemen, in 1997, CZ of the Czech Republic introduced the CZ97B, a brand new pistol that is essentially the CZ75B in 45 ACP rather than 9mm, leading many gun enthusiasts to call the 97B the big brother to the very popular CZ75B. So, let me tell you why I consider the CZ75B as large and in charge. We all have our favorite calibers, and for me, the 45 ACP cartridge has been my favorite since I first fired one many years ago. Over the years, the 1911 has been the primary platform. I have other pistol platforms that also fire the 45 ACP and have acquired Springfield XD and XDM and Glock pistols in that caliber. But I discovered another platform, the CZ. Having several CZ75 pistols in 9mm subsequently led to a search of a 45 ACP version, a bigger brother if you will. In fact, the CZ97B is considered the big bore brother to the CZ75B and is the first CZ pistol produced in 45 ACP. It is operationally identical to the 75B SADA. The CZ97B evaded me for quite a few years. I began looking for the CZ97B right after I procured a CZ75B Omega, but the supply was dry as the CZ97B, or BD, seemed to go out the dealer's door as fast as they came in. In fact, when I ordered this one, it was the last one, and I had hoped that they saved the best for last. So, it is that I bring to you, with great elan, my review of the CZ97B. Introduced in 1997, the 97B is basically the CZ75B scaled up to be in 45 ACP for the American market. The CZ97B is a semi-automatic, mechanically locked, recoil-operated pistol intended for service use. It is a large pistol with a 10+1 capacity. Originally, the CZ97B came equipped with wood grips, like that shown. However, in 2013, aluminum grip panels replaced the wood grips, which made the grip of the CZ97B thinner to accommodate those with smaller hands. Personally, I prefer the wood grip panels over the aluminum panels. More on that later. Specifications for the CZ97B are rolling. Note that I have added some specifications that will be covered in this review later. The first thing to note from the specifications is that the width of 1.4 inches is 0.1 inch less than the total width of a 1911, as measured at the ambidextrous safety levers, which is 1.5 inches, as specified by the manufacturer. The grip width with the provided aluminum grip panels is slightly less than a 1911 with Hogue rubber finger groove wraparound grip panels, 1.1520 versus 1.285 inches. The total height of the CZ97B is, however, taller than a 1911. The second thing that you might notice on the pistol itself is the full frame, which is flat all the way to the muzzle, like that found on the CZ75 SP01. The full frame adds a bit of weight, which helps in managing the recoil of the 45 ACP cartridge. The 3 pounds 1.5 ounces with 10 plus 1 rounds of 230 grain JHP of total weight places the CZ97B right up there with the all-steel government model 1911, which is approximately 45.92 ounces loaded to 8 cartridges, but with a 2-round advantage. And for tactical types, no rail is provided. CZ sends its condolences. One might ask, why only 10 rounds? Originally, this was the result of the Public Safety and Recreational Firearms Use Protection Act, or Federal Assault Weapons Ban, AWB, of 1994. However, because so many states ban magazines over 10 rounds, the capacity of the CZ97B remains at 10 rounds to satisfy those state requirements. So why bother with a CZ97B when there are larger capacity 45 ACP firearms in the market today, such as the Glock G21 and 41, and Springfield Armory XD and XDM series of pistols? The answer to that is fully understood by lovers of the CZ pistols, where non-CZ aficionados would not understand. You might say the same as those who prefer a 1911 pistol with 7 or 8 round capacity over a larger capacity firearm of more modern times. So, let's look further at the CZ97B and see why so many, including myself, are enamored by the CZ line of pistols. The craftsmanship, fit, and finish of the pistol is excellent. The form of the pistol is impeccable, and even as large as the pistol is, it fits in the hand like it belongs there. The styling, except for the flat frame, is reminiscent of the CZ75. Note that no rail is present, which is fine with me. Like its smaller brothers, the full-length frame is internal and provides a bit lower bore access than other pistols. In the later models, as with this one, front slide serrations were added to assist in retracting the slide, which some claim is too short and needs to be taller for effective grasping of the slide. It does, however, present a low profile and does contribute to the overall accuracy of the pistol. Once you are used to the slide, working it does not present an issue. The front sight is fiber, while the rear sight is a 2-dot luminescent sight. Note that if you wish night sights, those are available on the CZ97BD, the decocker version, or can be ordered separately for the B model. The top of the slide contains a tactile and visual pop-up round-chambered indicator, a feature that is also found on some CZ75 pistols. The top of the slide also contains serrations for reducing glare. The 4.65-inch hammer-forged barrel provides enough length for the 45 ACP bullet to travel through while providing a good degree of velocity, and a full-length polymer guide rod keeps the recoil spring in line. The big part here is the barrel bushing, which is a screw-in type of bushing that is held in place by the guide rod bushing. I will go through this a bit more in the disassembly-assembly portion of this presentation. The ejection port opening is massive and allows the spent shells to find their way free of the pistol with no interference. More on this in the At the Range segment. The external extractor, which seems small for the size of the pistol, does its job extremely well. The slide is stamped with the disassembly-assembly alignment mark and the CZ logo and CZ97B, along with Cal 45 Auto on the left side of the slide. The right side of the slide is stamped with the year of manufacture, 19 for 2019 in this case, proof marks, and serial number, which is also stamped on the barrel. All stamping, roll marking, is well done. The slide stop is oversized yet well blended into the pistol. The slide stop is followed by an oversized frame-mounted safety lever, also well blended into the frame, which allows the trigger to be disconnected when in safe mode and allows the pistol to be carried in condition 1, cocked and locked, as you would with a 1911. The pistol is, of course, double and single action. The same care when lowering the hammer on the CZ97B must be taken as you would lowering the hammer on a 1911. More on that later. The grip is what you might expect from a CZ, near perfect in angle for the hand, and there is a lot to grip. The aluminum grip panels are well textured, as is the front and back strap of the pistol. For some, the size, or girth of the grip, may be too large for those with small or even medium-sized hands. If you can hold a Glock G21 or G41 or a Beretta 92 FS M9, you will not have a problem with the grip. It must be noted that the grip width of the CZ75 is actually greater than the CZ97, but the grip reach is greater than the CZ75 due to the 45 ACP ammunition it houses. The one thing that makes this grip is the grip angle and contouring. The rear strap could be summed up as being reminiscent to the 1911 A1, only exaggerated. The general slope of the back strap follows the contour of the hand very nicely and is nicely serrated. The front strap has a flare at the bottom that blends in perfectly with the base pad of the magazine. There is no worry about a hanging pinky on this firearm. The front strap also has vertical serrations. The aluminum grip panels are thin cut, and some say are much better than the thicker wood grips that came on the early models of the pistol, as they allow more of the hand to wrap around the grip. The steel frame is slightly undercut at the rear of the trigger guard, and the upswept beaver tail grip helps lower the bore axis for less muzzle flip. The beaver tail frame helps avoid hammer bite too. The front of the trigger guard is squared off and grooved. The CZ97B sports a full dust cover, which gives the pistol an all-business look that is slightly intimidating. The full dust cover also gives the pistol more heft. The front and rear grip straps have vertical serrations that assist in keeping the pistol in a secure grip under rapid fire. It is easy to hang on to the CZ97B. The pistol comes with two 10-round magazines with base pads. The magazine release button, located on the left side only, is positive and easily reached and pressed, if your hands are large. Otherwise, it takes a shift in the grip to reach it. The magazines eject forcibly and lock up precisely. The number of cartridges can be checked through the inspection holes on the sides of the magazines. Do not try to exceed the magazine capacity. Doing so can cause a feeding failure, according to CZUSA. Finding magazines for the CZ97 can be difficult, as they are in great demand. Magazines are also expensive, with somewhere close to $44 when they are in stock. We all have triggers that set us off, and the CZ97B is no exception. As with all double-action, single-action, or DASA pistols, there is that transition between double-action and single-action modes of operation. The trigger shoe is nicely curved and wide so that the trigger finger is well within the center of the trigger. When in double-action mode, the trigger pull is a long but clean 11-pound, 12.1 ounce before let off. In single-action mode, there is a bit of free travel to overcome before resistance is felt. Once resistance is felt, only 5 pounds, 11.8 ounces of pull is required before the hammer falls. Reset is long, but that is to be expected in a DASA pistol that can be trained through. If the hammer is placed in the safety notch or quarter cock position, the free travel before resistance felt is lessened over resting the hammer against the trigger block. The safety notch, hammer position, is where I prefer to carry the pistol over the condition 1 hammer position. As with most CZ pistols, there is no stacking of the trigger. The point at which the trigger breaks is more of a feel of where the trigger finger is at in the trigger pull stroke. With a lot of trigger time under the belt, a staging point can be sensed when operating in double action mode, but it does take a lot of trigger time. The trigger guard is rounded for use with gloves and has a serrated front for those who like to stick sport hand trigger fingers on it. The B in the model designates that the pistol is equipped with a firing pin block, which is indicated by the firing pin roll pin within the rear slide serrations, and which is a firing pin stop and prevents firing pin over travel. While I have not heard of any issues dry firing the CZ97B, I am taking my cue from issues reported by operators of the CZ75 pistols, whereas some roll pins have been damaged from dry firing. Springfield Armory striker-fired pistols have a similar issue. I keep A-zoom snap caps around for every caliber of firearm that I have, including rifles and shotguns. I have become accustomed to having a snap cap in any firearm that I intend to dry fire. Using snap caps when dry firing a pistol, or any firearm for that matter, is just a good habit to get into, in my humble opinion. Decocking the pistol is a manual effort. If you have worked with a 1911 pistol, then decocking the CZ97 will be familiar to you. To decock the pistol, first, grasp the grip firmly. Second, point in a safe direction. Now, there are two methods available, Method A and Method B. With Method A, the thumb and forefinger are pressed firmly against the side area of the hammer. Pull and then release the trigger, and then release the hammer slowly until it rests on the safety stop, the quarter cock position. I explain this safety stop later. The pistol is now in double action mode. If a live round has been chambered, the pistol is safe to carry with the safety on or off, with the latter preferred, or condition 2. With Method B, the thumb and forefinger are pressed firmly against the side area of the hammer. Pull and hold the trigger and release the hammer slowly until it rests on the action. The pistol is now also in double action mode. If a live round has been chambered, the pistol is safe to carry with the safety on or off, again with the latter preferred, condition 2. Note that using Method B results in a longer trigger pull than when using Method A. To carry in condition 1, cocked and locked, with a loaded magazine inserted, pull the slide rearward and release to chamber a cartridge. The hammer is now in the cocked position and ready to fire. press the safety lever upward until the red dot is hidden from view. The pistol is now in condition 1 and is safe to carry. It must be noted that when the hammer is down, the safety lever cannot be engaged. Only when the hammer is fully cocked can the safety be engaged. The safety lever operates in the same fashion as that found on a 1911 pistol. Swipe down to fire. Any pistol, especially when new and out of the box, should undergo a thorough inspection, cleaning, and lubricating prior to shooting for the first time. The CZ97B is no different from other pistols in that respect. Initially, the CZ75 and the CZ97B are partially disassembled in the same manner, for which both is a bit different from what you may be used to. Once partially disassembled, things take a different turn due to the barrel bushing setup. Remove the magazine, lock the slide back, and ensure that the pistol is safe with no rounds in the near vicinity. Note that the pistol should not be disassembled with the magazine inserted. Hold the slide firmly while pressing down on the slide lock lever. Slowly allow the slide to move forward until it stops. Put the safety to the off position if needed to release the movement of the slide. While holding the hammer firmly, pull the trigger and release it. Then, lower the hammer until it stops on the quarter cock safety notch position. In this state, the handling that follows will be easier. Put your left thumb through the trigger guard and with the other fingers grasp the top of the front part of the slide firmly. Using both hands, push the slide slightly back until the two vertical lines on the rear part of the frame and slide are in line with each other. Keeping the lines aligned, push or tap the slide stop from the right-hand side of the firearm. Then remove the slide stop. The magazine base or non-marring tool can be used to facilitate this operation. Pull the slide assembly off of the frame. Remove the non-captive recoil spring and guide. As always, be mindful and wear eye protection when removing spring assemblies of any sort. Remove the recoil spring housing. Screw the barrel bushing off of the barrel in the counterclockwise direction. Finally, remove the barrel from the slide. I am assuming that you have cleaned pistols before, so I am not going to go through cleaning and lubricating methods with you, as you no doubt have a method of your own. If you are unsure as to how to thoroughly clean a CZ75 series pistol, which also applies to the CZ97 series pistols, I have placed a couple of links in the description section. To assemble the pistol, first insert the barrel into the slide. Screw the barrel bushing onto the slide in the clockwise direction. Ensure the barrel bushing is properly aligned with the recoil spring housing. Screw the bushing all the way in and then back it off to the first notch in the bushing. insert the recoil spring housing into the slide. Align the barrel bushing with the guide rod bushing. Install the recoil spring and guide, taking care that this assembly is under pressure. Push the slide onto the frame. Push the slide slightly back until the two vertical lines on the rear part of the frame and the slide are in line with each other. Install the slide stop from the left side of the frame. Ensure the slide stop fully engages the detent. When new, this may take the help of tapping the slide stop with a non-marring tool. Perform a function check, safety operation, firing, extraction, and ejection with a snap cap to prevent damage to the firing pin block. Now that the pistol is together again, it is range time, and I'll take you along with me. The size and weight of the CZ97B works toward reducing felt recoil and muzzle flip, if I do my part and grip the pistol properly. Posting a silhouette target at 7 yards for estimating zero function, and then running some Mozambique drills for playtime, gave me an indication of what this pistol could do at a combat distance. Initial ammunition was S&B 230 grain FMJ at 853 feet per second at the muzzle. I also had some 230 grain FMJ from Georgia Ammo at 830 feet per second at the muzzle. For defensive ammunition testing, my usual Sig Sauer V-Crown 230 grain at 830 feet per second at the muzzle was also fired. The manufacturer states that for the CZ97 pistol, the use of ammunition with the revolver wad cutter type of bullet, particularly LSWC or lead semi-wad cutter, is not advisable. Use of these cartridges can cause a failure when feeding the cartridge from magazine into the chamber. When shooting, I found the grip to be more like a 1911A1, only larger, with the backstrap arch tucking nicely into the hand. I prefer a more rounded gripping area, or grip panels with a palm swell, over the flat-sided aluminum grip panels. I talk about that in upgrades. The grip surface is large. If you have held or fired a Beretta 92 M9, the grip width is similar, but with a longer length. For some, it would be too large, but for me, it is near perfect. Accuracy is excellent, with the sights being POI. The rear photoluminescent sights are clear to my eyes and worked well with their faint light green coloring, while the front red fiber sight sets a contrast with the rear sights and picks up very well in daylight and range lighting. Felt recoil is negligible, feeling a bit more like a 9mm rather than a 45 ACP. The 3 pounds, 1.5 ounces of weight with 10 plus 1 rounds of 6-hour V-Crown 230 grain JHP is a solid factor regarding felt recoil. I am not going to tell you that the CZ97 is an easy pistol to conceal. It is a full-size service pistol with a full-size grip, which is the hardest part to conceal. With that said, can you effectively conceal the CZ97B? Concealing the CZ97B does have its challenges, but it can be done. Some consideration must be given to your size, your clothing, the weather, etc. I carried the CZ97B for a week in an IWB holster intended for the Glock G41, and it was a perfect fit. The Cumberland holster from Simply Rugged also houses the Beretta 92FS, the Beretta M9, the CZ75, and several Glock pistols. The height of the CZ97B is 5.9 inches, which is 0.4 inches taller than a standard government model 1911 pistol, and you will have a significant amount of weight on your hip, around 3 pounds, 1.5 ounces, with 10 plus 1 rounds of 230 grain JHP. The CZ would not be a summer carry, at least not IWB. However, in the colder months, with layers of clothing, the CZ97B was no more difficult to conceal IWB than was my 1911, a Beretta 92 M9, or a Springfield Armory XDM 5.25. Alien Gear Holsters does not make a holster for the CZ97. However, there are hybrid holsters available at Crossbreed Holsters and a leather holster available at Southern Trapper. Kydex holsters from Vetter Holsters, a hybrid holster from White Hat Holsters, a variety of holsters from Craft Holsters, to include leather, IWB, OWB, and shoulder holster systems. A more thorough search may reveal other holster sources. Only one upgrade, in my mind, was necessary, and that was to replace the aluminum grip panels. While some say that the grip of the CZ97 is like the 1911 with the thin aluminum grip panels, my hand disagreed. My hand also ordered a set of wood grips from gripsforyou.com. That is more to my hand's liking. What may be surprising is that the thin aluminum grip panels are more flat-sided than I prefer. Even with a 1911, I prefer a more rounded grip that fills the hand. The standard thin aluminum grip panels of the CZ97B just did not fill my hand as I like. The wood grip panels, while smoother, are checkered where it matters, fills my hand better, and that means that I have more confidence in my grip. That equates to better control of the pistol. The dark walnut wood really accents the CZ97B. The CZ97 is a classic design that was modeled after the CZ75, which Jeff Cooper claimed to be the most perfect pistol in its class. The CZ97B carried, and notice that I said this in the past tense, on the CZ tradition of manufacturing some of the best pistols in the world, and I have long been convinced that the quality of workmanship and the care given in producing a firearm will bring people into the fold. I know that it did with me. There are clones of the CZ97, like the EAA Witness, but it is not a CZ, although I do believe it to be comparable. If you want pretty, go with the EAA Witness, as it is offered in bright and shiny versions and even some with rails. But if you want a service pistol that is time and battle tested throughout the world, the CZ97 B or BD model just may be the pearl in the oyster. The CZ97B shoots well, is more accurate than I can make it, it is reliable, and it is large and in charge. If you like a full-size classic pistol in a .45 ACP caliber and prefer a DASA pistol over a striker-fired or single-action pistol, then the CZ97 just might be the pistol to look at. Also, if you prefer a decocking system, the CZ97BD is the version you need. I prefer the decocker version, but one was not available at the time. However, when one is available, and the bank account can support it, well, thus far, I have fed you the good about the CZ97B. But now for the bad. This year, 2022, the CZ97B was discontinued. Discontinued, however, does not mean that it is unavailable. Until it is. You can find them in stock when you look hard enough. Due to the nature of the California DOJ handgun roster, CZ USA still makes an older version of the 97B, specifically for the California market. Well, folks, I definitely want to thank you for watching today's video. I have a lot more gun and gear reviews on the way. In the meantime, stay safe out there.